Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online TV program where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations that are impacting lives positively. My name is Dr. Kemi Akiyode-Afolabi, also known as Dr. Mama K. And in today's program, yes, it's still the month of May, African month of celebration for me personally. My birthday was on the 27th, my anniversary was on the 25th, which is Africa Day, and it is the 60th anniversary for Africa Day. Well, Africa Union, as it is. So we are still celebrating inspirational Africans, from all over Africa. And we're focusing on 5 amazing people for this episode again today. It is the last day of, the last Monday of the month of May. So we will be highlighting the events we had over the weekend celebrating Africa Day at some point. So stay glued, look out for what happened, during our Africa Day celebration 2023, where it was amazing. We were just celebrating inspirational people as well. And at the same time, we had to watch a movie, that was very, very about sharing our stories. But I'll leave that till the next episode for you to watch out. Not the next one, but sometimes in the next one. Let's come back to these 5 amazing inspirational Africans. They're my brothers and sisters. I have a lot of African brothers and sisters. And we're going to start with a young man who is from Cameroun, Mr. Ateh Taku. Young man, I keep saying to all of you, he's the managing director of Oval Petroleum Company, which is based in South Sudan. We remember all that, people who are struggling in Sudan at the moment with the war and so on. And we continue to pray for peace. So the title of this full episode interview that we had was Leadership is Serving. And I asked him about what leadership means to him. Yeah, what does leadership mean to Mr. Taku? Enjoy. So now in terms of leadership, because obviously you've been a leader, even a leader at home, a leader, in your community and so on. What does leadership mean to you? Let me, ask that. And how would you define success?
Okay, thanks for that question. Leadership for me is serving. That's for me the bottom line. Serving others, especially helping people achieve what their objective is. For me, everything has to be an objective. And it's at every level. I can start from the family itself. Like I said, I studied engineering, eventually got to oil and gas. And you'll be surprised of all my 14 brothers and sisters.
And I forgot to mention that one.
In the oil and gas business as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't force them. I didn't force them at all. I don't force nobody, even my kids. But I guess they probably saw what I'd achieved. And not all of them are engineers. Okay, I think the first one who joined was Ken, who did geology. Okay, maybe geology is linked to oil and gas. And then followed into oil and gas. The second one who went, is not my second brother, it's actually my first brother behind me, but he's in the business as well. He did zoology of all things, nothing to do with oil and gas, but zoology, his specialty was birds. And strangely enough, one of the projects he worked on, there was actually the Chad-Cameroun pipeline. There was a rare bird along the pipeline, so they picked him as a student, who was a student at the time, to find the habitat of this bird so they can divert the pipeline around the habitat.
Interesting.
While doing that, he worked in the pipeline company, and eventually I think he did a good job. And they imbibed him into the HSC department, the Health, Safety and Environmental Department. And even though he left from there, went back, did his PhD still in the bird business, eventually found himself in the oil and gas business. And today, that's most of what he does, working in oil and gas pipelines, construction of pipelines, usually in the environmental department. And then the third one, my sister, who is also in Denmark, She did environmental studies as well, and eventually found herself in the oil and gas business. So I guess leadership is just doing what you do naturally, do it well, and then serve other people in the process. As you do it, people probably see what you're doing well, and then they decide to copy. Again, leadership in companies is listening to people. It's not just telling them what you want them to do, but listen to what drives them, and then you provide an enabling environment for them to be able to achieve those objectives. What is success for me? Success for me is quite simple. Achieving your objectives.
Right.
Okay, so you set your own objectives, you work hard at achieving them. Once you've achieved them, I think you feel successful. I mean, to me, that's the most basic definition of it. It could be as simple as, I'm a student, I want to study, get O-levels in Cameroun. We used to do by subjects. So if you're doing 10 subjects, I want to pass all 10 of them. That could be my objective. If I work hard at it and get those 10 subjects, maybe of the 10, I want to get 5 A's, 2 B's, 3 C's. Those are your objectives. It's not your dad's objectives. It's not your mom's objectives.
Right.
It's your own personal objectives. You work at them, achieve them, you've been successful. Then move to the next one, and then the next one.
Wow, my brother, yeah, powerful words indeed. And yes, I completely agree with you. Leadership is about serving. Thank you once again, Mr. Ateh Taku from Cameroon, who is working currently in South Sudan and lives in South Africa. We Africans, we travel a lot and we're all over the place in Africa, and that's good to know. We are now going on to our second inspirational African for this episode, part 3. We're still in part 3, and our final part for this month. This is no other by the very young, dynamic, strong, resilient Nonny, who I asked. Nonny is based in Delft. Nonny Yonke, she's a professional para-athlete. She's a student, a model. She's won so many awards all over the years, and I'm just so proud of her. So she is based in Cape Town and originally from Delft. And the title of the full episode we have, you need to check it out on our Facebook page and on YouTube, as well. We called it Attitude Determines Altitude, which was a saying by Nonny, not me. So you need to go and watch that. So I was asking Nonny about what she wants to share, what she could share rather with a younger Nonny in terms of life lessons, What would she share if she were just to talk to a younger Nonny? Enjoy. A lot of people normally think, okay, life is about when you've lived 80, 70 or whatever, but you could live life even at 18 and have been through so much like you have been through. So what life lessons, if you have a younger Nonny in Delft who comes to me and say, Sister Nonny, 7-year-old, what are the life lessons, that you have experienced that you will share with us, with that young Nonny?
Okay, so the life experience that I've experienced was I shouldn't have let everything that I went through come to me, because who knows, okay. God knows I could have been even more further than what I was. But instead, I was so consumed by anger, blaming it on everybody, but not looking for a solution as myself. Someone wise said that if you don't believe in your dream first or invest in it, who do you expect it to believe and invest in it? So since then, it has always been my motto that I just want to first believe that I can do this so that I can be able to consume other people naturally to believe in the same goal and same vision as me. So to me, it's just like, don't allow your circumstance or anybody tell you what you can do and what you can't do. Because the worst mistake is listening to other people and not yourself.
Deep. That's deep. Thank you. Wow, thank you so much, Nonny Yonke. They're powerful words, in terms of what you said, about not allowing what other people say to determine, your life. And at the same time, you experience, initially for you used to be angry and blame others. thank you for being so, honorable about sharing your experience, with us. Nonny Yonke is based in South Africa. I'm from South Africa, and we're hoping you can support her more in terms of sport. So please reach out to us if there's anything else you want to do, because she's always needing some form of support so that she's able to go and represent South Africa internationally. Thank you. Okay, now we have another young gentleman. Yes, very young gentleman who I was fortunate as well to have a conversation with and to hear his full story. His name is Mr. Tendai Gwenzi, and Tendai is originally from Zimbabwe, based in South Africa, and he is the Chief of Operations of ThunderBolts Academy, which is based in Delft. And they do a lot of work, there with young people in Delft. And the title we had for the full episode program was Love to Learn, because he loved to learn and he was still learning. Thank you, Tendai, for what you're doing in the community. And another sports organization that always seeking support, to represent South Africa internationally in terms of sport. So I was asking Tendai, I said, well, what are some of the key lessons, that he can share for someone who might want to take sport as a career? Enjoy. Key lessons. So for somebody who wants to, a young person that might want to take up sport, as a career, because like you said, your dad played professionally for the army.
Yeah. My brother. Your
brother.
Up to Division 1, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. And
I actually played for the national team also.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, not did. I still am.
Okay, so we can write that down. Okay, well done.
Yeah,
well done.
Yeah.
So now you're working on an academy to, raise people up to do more careers. So what key lessons would you advise a young person who wants to go into sport as a career?
And this is not just sport advice.
Okay.
It's just general life advice. And I feel, okay, now personally, I didn't have it. I wish I had someone that told me this. First of all, have a vision, a clear vision, not just, I have a dream, I want to be a chemical engineer. No, if you want to be a chemical engineer, if you want to be a sports person, be very certain that's what you want. And number two, which is the biggest thing, have a plan. From today, like right now I said I want to be whatever I want to be. So from today up to the day that I am going to be that person, what's the strategy to get to that end goal? And then lastly is consistent, hard work and consistent. It pays off. Do what needs to be done for as long as it takes. You see, there is no exact time frame for as long as it takes. As soon as you put a time frame to it, you're going to get discouraged, demotivated. Already put it at the back of your mind that you're willing to do this for as long as it takes. And then be disciplined to carry out your own plan.
Wow. You are very smart. So don't tell them. Yes, thank you so much, Tendai, for that. I completely agree with you as well. Yes, not just in sport, in any form of career, you need to have a vision. That is so important. You need to know what you want to do, and you need to be able to have a plan, towards it. Thank you for that nugget that you shared. And we look forward to having more conversation with you and helping, to see how, and who else, not just how, who else can help support ThunderBolts Academy in terms of the work you're doing in Delft, Cape Town. Okay, now we're going to another super inspirational. Wow, she is just awesome. She's talented, she's skilled, she's intelligent, she does a lot of work, she's selfless, and I think that's the bit for me that stands out. It runs in the family. She's actually my cousin, and she is Dr. Abiola Akiyode-Afolabi, and she is the founder, executive director of Women Advocate Research and Documentation Center, WARDC, as it's called, which is based in Lagos. So Dr. Afolabi is from Nigeria and based in Lagos. The full interview with her we called Speak Out More, because she works on with people who are franchised on human rights or domestic violence. So we need people to speak out more. So I asked my dear cousin, sister, friend, and mentor as well. I tell her my mentor, she calls me a mentor. Yeah, I am like that. You can be a young person and you can still mentor me. And you're like my role model as well because of the work she does and representing a lot of women and a lot of Africans wherever she goes. So I was asking her about what are some of the personal qualities that one needs to have to be a leader. Enjoy.
Kind of a three-part. What is your definition of success? And what personal qualities are essential, to have as a leader? And this time around, it could be female, male, because we don't want to forget our male child as well, our boy child. Because sometimes, I'm my boys as they call me, but at the same time, I want to make sure, that, we're carrying our boys along. Then in the top part of that question is, if you could share with us some life lessons, that will benefit our young people. Like I said as well, you could focus on women or whoever else you want to focus on. So that has helped you as a person over the years that you go, wow, okay, maybe Abiola, you should have done this. Maybe you should do that. So yeah, please do share. Oh, I think we have a network challenge. So my dear sister, with your experience, your skills, your journey, both, life, work, education, what would you say is the definition of success? And what qualities, does one need in your perspective as a leader, because you're a great leader? And lastly, what are the tips you'll give anyone, a younger Abiola now, 13-year-old Abiola, to say life lessons, for you to follow? I know it's a condensed, but I want to hear just nugget of it, if you don't mind.
Okay. Success to me is not about money. It's not about wealth. For me, it's about the impact that you make in the lives of others. Success to me, it's about your humanity and your ability, to be able to support others and the people that you impact and how what you do change their lives. That's the way I see success. I tell people I am not interested in amassing wealth, so it's not about the money that you want to make. I see a lot of my friends who we were in school together have become senior advocates of Nigeria, meaning that more money for them and all of that, But some of them are heading banks and all of that. I recall that when I was to do my youth service, I was actually sent to a oil and gas company. When there was no money in this country, they were supposed to be paying quite a lot of money. But I asked for a rejection letter because that's not my calling, So success to me, it's more about impact, that we make in life. So that's what I would see as success.
Okay. And in terms of qualities for a leader, but that has probably helped you as well, because you're a good leader, you're a passionate leader. So what qualities does one need to become a leader?
I think first and foremost, it's important to be determined, to have clear goals. Where am I going? What do I want to do, in life? And I think it's something that we need to decide quickly, early in life. So we need to begin to talk to young people about that. You know, I recall that when I was, my uncle was a role model to me growing up, because he was very close to my father, and he happens to be a lawyer. So I recall when I was in my primary 3, they asked me what would I like to become, and I spelled lawyer as L-O-Y-A, and you know, it was fun to the teachers, you know, but you know, in a way, I think I was already making a decision. So I think we should encourage young people to make decisions early, because it also will help them. When I started off, I was I started off studying English, but I came back 3 years later to read law, you know, meaning that there's that determination. I was clear about what I wanted to be, you know, even at that point in time of my life. So determination is very important. We need to be determined. We need to set clear goals so that we don't get distracted. You know, at every point in life, there's a possibility of peer distraction. There's a possibility of other way of distraction. You know, even at our own, at age 50 plus, you still get distracted. So you need to be focused. You need to be focused. You need to know what you want to do. You need to know what your calling is, and you need to believe in yourself. You know, believing in yourself is also very important. You need to believe in God. You also need to believe in yourself. You know, so that you also understand what your capacity is, what you can do and what you cannot do. There are things that I know I don't have capacity for. So if you ask me, you know, to work on it, I'll tell you no. I'm not into technology. I'm not into science. Even if you have all the money in this world and you ask me to come and do something around science and technology, I will tell you I cannot do it because I don't have capacity for it. So we also need, so that being focused is very important. That being determined is very important. And you need to carry people along.
Thank you so much for sharing those wonderful qualities, Dr. Abiola Akiyode-Afolabi. You know, just saying, yeah, we need to be determined, the qualities, to have clear goals, and a lot more, obviously, you know, that you shared there. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, our last but not the least, inspirational African is my brother, who is from Mali, stayed in South Africa and has lived in South Africa for a long while, the gentle, humble Mr. Maiga Abdoulaye, and he is the business owner and fashion designer of Mali South, which is based in Cape Town. They do a lot of beautiful, you know, African prints work, embroidery for men, women, children. They do caps, they do hat, they do gele, they do everything, you know. So please check them out in town. We need to support our local businesses. And thank you, my brother, for all you do to support bold moves in terms of what we do in the community, using fashion, African fashion, to communicate and to promote peace. Thank you so much. So I was asking, and yeah, the full interview, like everybody else as well, is on our YouTube. And I think my dear brother was talking about how the secret for him is hard work. You know, that we need to be hardworking in whatever we do. And I was asking him as well, just back to how did he start his business and what he has learned so far, and a lot of other stuff, but enjoy. You, or if I'm speaking to a 15 or 17-year-old Maiga, you know, before you started your business, what would you advise the person based on what you've learned on how to do a business? Whether the person wants to do fashion or catering or engineering, whatever it is, what would you advise?
My advice for that is whatever in life you want to do, you have to like.
Okay.
And you have to be trained well for that. Because, I mean, if you want to be an engineer and you don't like to be an engineer, and you don't like engineer, you will never be an engineer. If you like to be a tailor and you don't like to be a tailor, you will never be a tailor. Unless you put in your mind, that's what I like. I like this trade, and you can able to know the trade well.
Right.
And when you want to do something also, the best for you to know that trade. Because you can't be a mechanic when you don't know nothing about a car.
Or have any interest in the car in the first place.
So you're not going to be able to do it well. You might doing it, but you're not going to do it well. Yeah. So to do anything you want, you have to like it and you have to be trained for that.
Thank you so much, Maiga, for that. And I agree with you. Yes, you have to like what you're doing and you have to get training and upskill yourself as much as you can as well, especially in this day and age. So thank you to all our awesome 5 inspirational Africans who are doing amazing work, who are impacting lives positively in Africa, whether it be South Africa, South Sudan, Nigeria, Mali, and a lot of other places, that they've managed to influence lives positively. We salute you, we see you, we celebrate you. I know, yes, African Month, African Day is normally in May. We're not just celebrating you for now, we're celebrating you as always. And anybody watching there, whether you've been recognized or not, whether anyone has acknowledged some of what you're doing to celebrate each other and to impact lives positively, we celebrate you, we see you, we hear you, we acknowledge you. Okay, I'm just going to round up now with the Dr. Mama K's 56th birthday fundraiser challenge that is still on. We're going to have a program on it at some point, and this is basically to add more to some of the money we've already raised for starting up a community youth radio in a marginalized area here in South Africa and Nigeria. So we've been working on this project for 6 years, I know. For those who are like, what's keeping you, what's delaying, I don't know. But I believe, the timing for me is about God's timing. So I've been still and listening to God to guide us, and I believe we're almost there. So when something is cooking, when you're expecting a child, you wait for 9 months. So this is like, we're not going to do 9 years. So, but we're getting there. But yeah, we're doing a fundraiser, which was supposed to have started way back, but had to be moved due to me not feeling too well. But like I keep saying, life is about throwing the box away, not thinking, inside the box. No, just throw the box away and do what you need to do. So we restarted basically this fundraiser over the weekend on my birthday, 27th of May, and we launched it on the 28th of May in front of about maybe 100 people, just to say this is starting. So the whole idea is we want you to join me to grow a plant, grow a herb, anything, something small, just grow. And we want you to share pictures. So go to the Dr. Mama K's, we will share the link, Facebook page to share your pictures, to share, whatever you grow and, video, whatever you want to share, please share. Then as well, we want you to read. Yes, books to read, we call this one. Even if it's 10 minutes, spend a day to read a book. I'm just trying to get back into reading. I was gifted 2 books. I'll share that at some point that I'm hoping, I can read each week, because reading is about empowering yourself. We need to read as well to get through some of what we're going through, in life, as a whole. So read, and we're encouraging you to read. Bible, magazine, just read. Just read. Find 10 minutes. 10 minutes. If you do longer, minimum 10 minutes. Or even 56 minutes, which is my age. So say, okay, I want to read for 56 minutes, if you can go up to that, and read. Then the last but not the least, yes, plank for fitness. I used to be known as the plank queen, where I could plank for up to, I think, 3 minutes. Maybe I exaggerated, I don't know. But I think it's 3 minutes. But anyway, I'm hoping it's either 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I'm not too sure. I need to ask my previous coach how many minutes I used to plank for. So the whole idea is you plank for 56 seconds minimum. my age again. If you can do more to challenge me with that records that I need to prove, please do so. So 56 seconds, plank and record yourself minimum, like I said, and share as well. Please share. You can share on the Bold Moves page, but we want it to be in one page, so do share. And the whole idea is get other people to sponsor you. So we want to raise my birth year, 1967 pounds. I know some people are thinking, why pounds? We don't spend pounds in South Africa. No, we don't, but still, I want it to be, because we can say one night, 1967 rand. Now we need more than that. That's equivalent to 40,000 rand. So we're hoping to raise about 40,000 rand, which is 1967 pounds. We have the bank details. We have a GoFundMe page as well, which we'll share. If you want to send pounds, if you want to send rand, we have the bank details for both. So we're waiting and hoping you can support. All funds raised will be going specifically towards this project, and you will be helping to change lives, to impact lives, to sow into the lives of young people and other people in disadvantaged community who normally don't get a voice. So I can't wait. We're still going to share more of that in a specific program. And we're counting down to Youth Month, which we're celebrating in South Africa. 16th of June is the day. However, we celebrate for the whole month of June. So keep supporting us, keep watching, keep doing you, and keep lifting the flag for Africa. As I close till next time, remember Africa Day is May. Africa Month is in the month of May. However, let's keep celebrating Africa. Our future is great. Our future is Africa. Africa is our future. And we can only do it together. So till next time, this is Dr. Mama K saying, stay safe, stay blessed, love you. Hakuna Matata, no worries.